Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back. Timberborn. This is episode 27 of our blind playthrough, and ideally, we are working along towards a finale to the game. Why is this large water pump paused? I must have not changed that after a drought at some point. Welcome. I'll be honest, it's been a couple days since I last played the game, so I'm a little forgetful of where our I almost said our factory. I've been playing too much Satisfactory. I'm a little forgetful of what we're up to, really. I think one of the things that we're doing is sort of planting chestnuts here. I think it was chestnuts that we're going to turn into more food. I think that's one of the things we've been doing. We need to be working towards building the final monument, the Earth Recultivator. However, I thought I was going to basically sort of redo our plank and treated plank, improve our plank and treated plank production to get to that point. Which I think we're doing. Currently, this is waiting on pine resin, which is interesting. We should take a look at that. Waiting on pine resin. Okay. Is there no pine resin on this side of the... Right there. 0 out of 30. How much pine resin do we have overall? 2. Okay, so we're not making enough pine resin. So, that, I think, is done right over here. There are pines, but they do not have any resin on them. So, that would explain that. These maples aren't really doing shit. Well, maybe this is a good excuse to sort of improve our... to expand our... foresting along this side, right? We could. This is such a long way from home. We'd probably want to make this a timber bot just because of how far it is from home. We have some who are currently not doing anything. You are going to prioritize... I don't think it matters necessarily. You know what? Fine, we'll do it. Prioritize pines. We're going to put pines here. And we are going to... So pine resin is gathered from a tapper shack. There is no tapper shack particularly near here. So what we're going to have to do is go ahead and platform down... right there, a little path. We will rebuild this in the exact place that I wanted it, because I missed it by 1. Make that a construction priority, and a real priority, we'll make it a bot. You're going to prioritize pine resin. And then hopefully, we can just plant pine resin here, pines here, until the cows come home. And have you collect a whole bunch of pine resin. We're going to need more for more treated planks, so I think that's important. This over here is just not cutting it. I don't know why exactly, but it's not cutting it. I have really barely focused on pine resin at all in this game, so I don't really... I'm not surprised to hear that we don't have any. Really not surprised by that. Should we also have them grow some over here? Let's do this. Let's take a look at how often... I don't think we even have any tapper shacks over here. And how often are the foresters doing anything? This one is kind of waiting constantly for... Oh my god, I just had an idea. Hold up. There should no longer be any bad water in here. So... this land right here, all of this stuff alongside the river is now wide open. It's now wide open for planting. and should be totally doable. Let's add all of that and see. Now, the next question is, if you have a lumberjack and a forester, a tapper shack, working the same area, I wonder if the foresters cut down the trees before you can harvest the pine. Over here, we don't have a lumberjack working, if I remember correctly. Because nope, that is. It's just I understand. It's just cut tree. You just either have cut tree up or you don't. Duh. So why are these being cut down exactly? These maples? I thought we were kind of using those for maple syrup. Why are those being cut down? We're sort of limiting our maple syrup production there. Limiting it hardcore. Okay, you guys are both timber bots, but you're just not really doing anything. Because you're done doing what you've been doing. So let's just frickin' grow some extra trees. What's the worst that could happen? I can always just chop these down later. You can reach all of this. Perfect. We're gonna, if they're timber bots, they literally work all day. So like just do your job. Just do your jobs, plant these pine trees, go crazy. Okay. So it's figuring out things like that we're missing, that we need to sort of. Why is the time paused? Oh, because time is always paused when you look at the wellness screen. Here's my priorities right now. Let's take a look. First things first. We have to keep the time running at 3 times speed, basically for the rest of the game. Things are going too well to slow down. It's not worth my time or your time or the beavers' time to be like, oh, that's really weird. We could actually, I mean, for the way I'm playing the game. If you want to play it on slow, of course, do what you want. But for right now, things are going so well, and I'm not out to like perfect things in this playthrough. I'm just out to like finish this great philosophical experiment of can Indigestion Town and Constipationville survive and thrive? So we need to keep things producing. So that's first priority. Just keep stuff running. Second priority. We're going to find the things that are being underproduced and find ways to problem solve that problem. Currently, a big problem for us. Treated planks. A related problem, a very related problem, is pine resin. We have none, which means we have no treated planks. Luckily, we have solved, at least we've started to solve, the plank side of that problem. Planks are required, and pine resin is required to make treated planks. So we've solved the plank side of that equation. We've balanced it, but we're about to add a bunch of pine resin. When we do that, what's going to be the limiting factor? If it's planks again, then we have not, in fact, solved the planks problem. If it isn't, then we're good. I'm looking over here, and I'm seeing a limited amount of bot heads, which is okay. It's actually a very similar number to bot chassis, which is good. Those should be 1-to-1. Bot limbs is at 200, aka it's like basically full storage, which is fine. We are very limited on catalyst, and relatively limited on punch cards. We don't have any storage for it. Those all affect how many beavers get made, which is or timber bots get made, which is less of a big problem, but is, you know, it's like a long-term investment in our whole. They're lacking maple syrup. This is good to know. In our whole factory's speed, because the more jobs done by timber bots, the better the factory runs. Power is looking okay. We need more maple syrup because that is used in catalyst. So what's being grown over here? I think we can officially get rid of the oak trees over here. We don't need oak. Oak is being grown in other places. Do we need the birch trees? I don't think so. The pine trees could get tapped. They are currently being chopped down by this lumberjack, but we could get rid of that. They could get tapped. I don't know if we have a tapper shack over here, but we could do that. These are chestnut trees, which we want to grow chestnuts. Maples for syrup, pine, and then chestnut. If we wanted to throw a little... The thing is that this area, I think, kind of dies in droughts. At least part of it does. So I really don't even know if this area is worth it. I think we focus on one thing here. And that is probably chestnuts. And then we're going to have to figure out a maple syrup area somewhere else. I think that's what we should do. We're going to grow this whole thing as chestnuts. And then when a drought comes, we will limit it back down to the size that it needs to be. Chestnuts, on the other hand, are farmed by... They are gathered by a gathering flag. So that is the gathering flag right there, and it's ready to grow. Perfect. Time to streamline. That's basically the thesis of what we're doing right now, is we're just kind of streamlining. Stuff needs to be pretty... Now that we've managed to remove bad water from these waterways, we know what we can and can't use. Or we can and can't grow stuff. And it's time to make some use of that. So... My goal is to start seeing maple syrup and pine resin be produced at greater rates. If both of those happen, then treated planks go up. Catalysts go up, which is currently a problem for us. We have, I think, 0. Yep. Along the way, of course, we'll keep an eye on food and all that jazz. But if we're doing those two things, then we're finally sort of... It's like balancing the equation. That's the word I used earlier, and that's how I feel. It's like balancing the equation of our... civilizations. So the next question here is, what's going on with all of these? These are all dead. No, we shouldn't mark these as tree cutting areas. We should just destroy them. Let's destroy them. These are dead from contamination. However, there's still a good growing area. And if they are going to... That is watered and healthy? Weird. Doesn't look watered to me. But the game says that's watered and healthy, which is very funny. I would have expected there to be some green on that square. Whatever you say, though. Cool. So, now we have a little bit of maple here. And a little bit of pine. We're kind of transitioning this whole area into pine. So what if we transitioned this whole area into maple? This is chestnuts, maple, pine. Yeah? Let's go ahead and do it. When you mark a resource for demolish, it does say all resources are lost. So that's interesting. What if we instead just marked this for cutting so that we at least get the wood from it? Then planted, that's maple, right? Maple? Yeah. Planted maple here. Died too far from a district? Sure it did. Okay, well then I don't want to cut it. Just leave it there. I don't care. Fine by me. So I marked these as cut trees, but I don't know... Oh, we do have a lumberjack. Okay, cool. Sweet. We're learning. I think this is going to work out. Okay. Timberbots are being created and born. Beavers are being created and born. This is all good. I should check on my floodgates because I have not looked at them since I started recording today, and I don't know what is what. Okay, we're good there. This is potato that died due to contamination. We don't need to plant anything there. We'll just destroy it. These also died due to contamination. Was I going to plant them as more sunflowers? Is that what I was going to do? I think so. I think we have... we really don't have plenty of potatoes. We really have, like, none. Do we have sunflowers? We also don't have sunflowers. So... Oh, never mind. We have 6 sunflower seeds. Great. Okay. So there's probably still a crop conversation to be had about what we grow and where. But we've got more open area that should just remain mostly watered. No. Honestly, our sluice area is our best area for remaining watered. Because the sluice lets stuff in here, but doesn't let contaminated water in. Even in a drought, it should still hold a little bit of water, probably. I don't know. It's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. All right. We're still at 1 treated plank. I think it's mostly because we can't grow our... let me switch our recipes here to go to wheat flour. And to go to bread, go to, there's no potatoes. We have any chestnuts? I don't think we do. Not yet. That's wheat, the wheat flour. I have to look every time to see what I'm actually looking at here. Yeah, okay. We have too much wheat. Like, we're maxed out on wheat and not on potatoes. So I think it might be time to sort of... We changed some of these. We were going to change some of these to sunflowers, too. Have I cleared these as planting areas yet? I don't remember. Let's go ahead and harvest some of that wheat so that we can grow other things, though. Storage is full on wheat flour. Storage is not full on bread, but that's okay. We are not full on carrots, but we're, you know, near full. And we're full on berries. So... We're also full on grilled potatoes because we don't have any storage for it. Oh, that's weird. Okay. That could probably be fixed, right? No storage. That's regular potatoes. Where should we chuck more storage? I think we could actually use some. Still don't have enough sunflower seeds. Storage for crops over here. I do not know. Things are kind of... I have more storage all the way up here, but... My thought, honestly, was we could do a little bit of this. So if we needed to expand storage over here, here's what I was thinking. Do that. Do a second level platform, double platform, onto the, like, medium warehouse on top thing. What I really like about stacking storage is you get so much more space, and, like, a medium warehouse is very flexible. Large warehouse is very large. you know, we can shift these things to meet. How do I phrase this? I don't need large warehouses for most of the items that I make. Some medium warehouses are great. The only downside to this whole storage facility is the freaking amount of stairs you have to build to get shit on top of stuff. However, if you just do this, all of a sudden, I already have 1 stairs, and dude, I mean, I could probably even put like a little platform there. Boom, you know? Then we've got more space over here. It's relatively near the zipline station, so that's good too. Okay. The next thing I wanted to look at was what is currently being built? Is anything currently being built? Because if the answer is nothing, I might just go ahead and work on creating this earth recultivate. Aha. Oh, this just can't be reached. Okay. I knew there was something we added that, how should I do this? Let's just do it right here. Okay. I knew there was something I added at the end of the last episode that was not getting built. So we're going to build these stairs, and we'll see if that changes this too far from a district thing. Once that's done, we're going to build this. It's going to take 100 treated planks, which we don't have. 300 metal blocks, which we do have. 400 planks, we do have. So it's going to keep stressing our system. But why is this scarecrow not being built? Lacks paper? Do we have paper? We do, but not on this side of the... of the towns? Get some paper then, dude. I don't know. I thought I was already trying to get paper somewhere. Maybe not. Oh no, this thing can't be reached. Oh well. Okay, they're building the Fountain of Joy. Good. When that's done, then we'll start work on the next thing. Then we'll do it. Let's go check on our... So, hold up. This is a lumberjack. But these things all need cut down. So why are they not being... Did they get replaced? Is that my fault? Probably. Cut this shit down and don't replant it with something else. Yeah? Do me that favor. Because instead we're going to try and grow maples here. Okay. Are these pines grown up yet? They are not. They are... They are 56% of the way to being mature. Then they need 7 days. Damn, I did not realize that's how that worked. That does make sense, though. They need a lot of time. They need a lot of time. Okay. Timberbots have been broken down. Some Timberbots currently don't have jobs. So you know the drill. We got to put them to work. What do I want them working on? Well, I very recently took a look at something. I don't remember what it was, that it had a human working on it. Sorry, a beaver working on it. And I said, nah, we don't need that. There's a printing press here. This is probably a smart one to do, because if you change that to bots, they'll work better to make more punch cards, which then help bots work better. Probably a good one. Paper mill. I think our paper production is okay. We need to ramp up, like, gears. This is a wood workshop that should 100% have a Timberbot on it. Gears. Printing press, that's books. Frankly, we could use more of those too. We don't have a ton of those ever. We just had one unemployed timber bot for a second there, so we'll switch that one. God, I mean, look at how far we've come since we started playing this game. Holy cow. Lots of new tech. Lots of things have changed. We should just plant more potatoes here, right? Like, we could use potatoes. We could use... sunflower seeds. So... sunflowers on this end, and we'll kind of meet in the middle here. Are we going to have 0 wheat left at the end of this thing? I think we may. Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done. Am I growing wheat anywhere else? Is this wheat? That's potatoes, right? This is our wheat? Okay. Probably shouldn't just get rid of all of our wheat production all at once. We are still using it, even if it's stored. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll keep a little bit of this as wheat. I don't know how much of that is going to stay, but at least some of it. Okay. A bad tide approaches. That's fine. I have plans for that. I got plans on plans on plans. Fountain of Joy is being built for everything other than treated planks. Treated planks. Let's keep looking at it. We still just need pine resin, right? Which we still just... Here's my next question. Where is pine resin being stored? Right here. Perfect. So this right here will eventually be absolutely filled with the stuff coming over there. That'll be good. We're going to work on maple here. And eventually none of this will be cut. Just go ahead and start switching that so that I don't forget. Unmarked tree cutting area. Cool. Those are tiny little pine trees. We can just demolish those, right? Fuck it. Okay, plant... maple. Cool. Maple. Excellent. We'll make sure none of it is going to be cut down. And go from there. Oh my god. This is currently really cutting down our factory, our city's productivity, our civilization's productivity. These pine trees take forever to get mature. Once they're mature, I think we should be okay. But for now, it's rough. What's going on over here? We're switching all of these to chestnuts. Perfect. Great. And then am I still having all of it cut down? Yep. So what is in a chestnut? These. Those aren't chestnuts. Just demolish them. That's fine. I know that may be waste resources, but that's okay. That is a maple seedling. I don't need that. That's a maple seedling. Everything else here is chestnut, hopefully. I really did not appreciate basic... Oh, no, I just did the wrong thing. Shit. I really did not appreciate until, like, right now. This late in the game. The major benefit that is balancing your like, foresting efforts. Your forester efforts. I did not realize how much balancing... a long-term tree to grow logs like maple or like oak, whatever these are. oak, yeah. With a short-term tree like birch to make sure you get some that you could use for short-term projects. With pines for pine resin, maple for maple syrup. Because of course, at first they start as like extras. They start as things that are unimportant, basically. Maple syrup for maple crackers. That's just like a wellness thing. But eventually it becomes maple syrup for catalyst. Is that right? Yeah. And pine resin for treated planks. Two of the most important items in the game. So what am I going to use with these two storage things? I don't remember. What was I building? I don't really think it needs to be explosives. Could be extracts, but I think it was more like we don't have any punch card production or storage. And we don't have any... What was it? Sunflower seeds. Okay, so you are now going to be sunflower seeds. It's a huge thing, but it's food, so I don't really care. Like, it's a huge storage system. Sunflower seeds are right there. And then you are going to be maybe... There's also not a lot of metal block storage. Wait. That's just an indigestion town. Let's click off generally and see. Yeah, I really don't think there's any storage for sunflower seeds otherwise. We could also do one of the foods because there's no storage currently for... Was it grilled potatoes that didn't have any storage? Grilled potatoes technically does not have any storage. Let's do that. That's a good one to get. A place to store. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, the balance of like growing all of the crops really. 0.8 days. Okay, I need to keep an eye on this. The balance of growing all of the crops and deciding what you have extra of and because like if you're growing in excess of your ability to store, you're wasting land. Like all of this wheat over here while we had full wheat storage was wasted land, wasted productive land. Okay. We are growing lots of sunflower seeds here. Hopefully we'll have way too many sunflower seeds before too long, and we can stop worrying about that. Bad water in 0.5 days. Do I just go for it right now? I think I probably do. Go ahead and put you up, put you down. And that should be good there. I think we'll go ahead and open this water pump and close these two. 0.3 days. Okay. So that's sending everything out here, right? Yep. So we need to divert. We need to 0.2 days. I'm cutting it a little close here. We need to divert. Yeah? Okay, good. Is that everything? I think so. And then our floodgate there is fine. Floodgate there is fine. I think we actually keep this one sort of high. Turn this on. Yeah? I think that's what we do. Okay. See how we did there. Hope that works. We should turn off this big water pump. And do we have any extra timber bots right now? No, we do not. And in fact, we have 6 vacancies. 3 of them are at the hauling post, and 3 of them are at the hauling post. Bad tide has started. Less for 4 days this time. Okay. Great. That's fine. This fountain of joy is just waiting on treated planks. You and everybody else, brother. We need these pine trees to... They're 7% of the way to producing pine resin. So, by the end of the bad tide plus a couple days, maybe these will be growing. Okay. Nothing to do in range. Who is lacking stuff to do? This lumberjack flag? Yeah, you should be lacking stuff to do because I turned all of this area into a chestnut farm. Oh my god, there's one birch tree here. Shit. We're about to find out here, by the way, what gets... What gets killed due to bad tide. That's all of these things. They're technically just drying out. They're not contaminated, just drying out. And what still gets water from here. So we'll find out. All right. Beavers injured. Something's blocked by bad water. Building lacks materials. Grilled spatterdock lacks spatterdock. Okay. You want to make potatoes? You want to make chestnuts? I don't think we have any of those either. Wood workshop lacks pine resin. The mine lacks treated planks. That's what's happening. Oh. I did not even remember that the mine requires treated planks. So we have more metal than we need. That said, so what we should do here is change this down to 5 workers. This needs fewer workers. The bots should be doing other jobs. Here's why. At that rate, we'll go through slower treated planks. We're close to maximizing our scrap metal storage. When we do, that will mean that this will start to back up and won't take treated planks anymore. However, in the meantime, we can use those bots for other jobs, you know? Still so nervous about this. Also, this is just bad. These potatoes just die. Maybe we should stop growing stuff there. Maybe we should stop growing stuff there. Are we learning that or no? These are drying and dying. Love it. On the other hand, all this pine right here is being chopped down. Why are we chopping it down? Probably because I marked it to be cut. Yep. So what if instead we didn't cut it? And shit. Stop cutting these down. No. And we instead could use these for pine resin. We can eventually cut them down once I have enough pine resin to drown in. But right now we don't have that. So... Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Okay, well. That's on me. That's a mistake on me, that's for sure. Okay. Oh my god, the pine forest grows. Please. We're in a kind of interesting spot right now, which is that I need to, for lack of a better term, I need to kind of come up with things that can keep me busy. At this point, I'm pretty sure my factory is basically going to run itself. I keep calling it a factory. I'm so sorry. My cities are basically going to run themselves. They may come up with an issue, but that needs solved. But for now, I don't think we need to worry quite so much about like micromanaging anything. We're waiting on planks on pine to grow treated planks. Other than that, I need to start coming up with jobs that could. I need to come up with construction projects that could kind of keep me busy and not drain my city's resources. So what do I want to do on that front? Well, I don't know. Let's go back and just buy everything with science. Do I want to build like the biggest suspension bridge? It's not really all that impressive, I'm going to be honest with you. An overhang. Never even seen an overhang before. It's like a diving board. That's cool. That's 100% for building batteries on. Zipline beam, we've looked at those. There's triple dynamite, which I never even really looked at. Impermeable floor. A terrain block. Let's see what a terrain block does. This is something I've never messed with. Construction order follows the arrows on top. What are they made of? They're made of dirt? Okay. It's an artificial block of terrain. Okay. What would that be useful for? It's like a floodgate that you can't move, you know? Like it's like a... How do I unbuild this? There you go. What's that good for? I mean, it looks better than a floodgate, and it looks... it's terrain, so technically you could grow stuff on it. That's what's different. An impermeable floor. Let's see what this looks like. That takes a metal block to build. And then a contamination barrier. Planks and metal blocks. Okay. So technically I could use those like right here, maybe. Maybe stop this contamination from flowing through. Yeah, but it's I would have had to do it back in the day. Okay. I can't really do much about that. How are we doing on water? We're good? Logs? We're good? Cool. We seem to be doing all right. Storage, district management, housing, water, a mechanical fluid pump. Fuck it. Is it time to just build a new district right at the last second? If I build a district here, it's not going to have any access to water. I could cap this bad water source, but... Alright, how expensive are zipline stations? They take no treated planks, thank God. I mean, this is a crazy thing to build at this point in the game, but whatever. Right? This is a dumb thing to do. But here I am. I've always been a dumb person. So here we are doing dumb things. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a... we're going to build another zipline station. Here's what I'm basically thinking. If I had to like pick a project to like keep myself entertained in this game... the game is entertaining in and of itself. But basically like I need something to do to like use my brain and work on solving a problem. One of the things that I would pick would be capping all of the bad water sources. And by capping, I probably mean bad water rigging it. Just because then I get to like turn... like these stop running. These water wheels stop running. But I get to turn this whole area into a beautiful, you know, green area rather than anything else. So I kind of want to see what happens if I do that. In the meantime, we have finished the bad tide. Let's run around and solve our and change our settings back to normal. Look at all this pine. We're so close. 74%, 76%. Check that back down to 0. This is the one that we have to kind of check a little bit. Is there any contamination or anything in here? It doesn't really look like it. Looks pretty normal. Put you down to 0.8. Hit play. Cool. Check you down to empty. Okay. Good. I think that's everything. 0.85. Cool. All right. So, as we near the end of this episode, let's check in on the things that I tried to fix this episode. Do we have more treated planks? No, but that's because we don't have any pine resin, and we're working on it. We're working on it aggressively, I would say. We're gonna have a ton more pine resin very soon. So that's good. Do we have more? Sorry, I'm just noticing that there's some stuff here that is not planted, and I don't know what's going on about that. My farmers are about to be in trouble. Ray Hay, Jayetta, Michael. We don't have more treated planks, but we're working on it. We do have a decent amount of planks, so it's just the pine resin part of the equation, probably. Do we have more catalyst? No, we're out of catalyst still. That should be maple syrup, which we're also working on. We probably are going to need more extract along the way, but that's a problem for next time. Then we are full on punch card. What else were we working on? Punch cards. We've changed some of our food up, and we do have better stores right here. We've got some grilled potatoes hitting storage, some sunflower seeds hitting storage, whereas we had none before. What else were we working on? I mean, gears are up. Scrap metal going down? That's actually concerning to me because I don't know what we're using it for. Oh, we're probably using it to make like gears or something, right? Are gears made from scrap metal? No, just planks. The smelter uses scrap metal. Shit, okay. Well, in that case, I am going to chuck a couple more bots into the mine. That's going to hurt our treated planks, but oh well. Okay. Are we getting... I'm not going to stop this episode until we start to get some pine resin here. We need it so desperately. The other thing we needed was chestnuts. That's the other thing we're working on, is chestnuts for food. So over here, once they are mature, which they are, then it takes 8 days to mature to grow chestnuts. So... and those are gathered by a gathering flag, which currently does not have any anything to gather. So we're just kind of waiting on that one. No chestnuts yet, but soon. We'll be making grilled chestnuts like crazy. Very soon. Uh-oh, we're starting to maybe get a little low on carrots too. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right, let me just plant a couple... We still have no sunflower seeds? Walk me through how I'm growing all these sunflower seeds, but nobody ever seems to have any to eat. You know? Walk me through that. Walk me through how I grow all these potatoes, but we also can't get an excess of those either. Oh, baby, we got pine resin growing. Okay. So, what is this Timberbot doing? Timberbot 117. Are you hauling? No. Okay, you're currently gathering pine resin, putting it in your house. Gathering pine resin, putting it in your house. Now let's check on the house. It's at 5 out of 50. Hopefully, some haulers should come to grab this, even though it's 101 blocks from home, and move it over to our storage. That is a hauler. That is Zoso 900. Why are you hauling stuff? Where did you just take that stuff? Shouldn't our haulers be these guys? Oh no, do you work at the, like, treated plank factory or something? We're gonna find Zoso 900. Where did they just go? Where did they go? We have to track the system to see where it goes. Zoso 900, where are you going? You're currently carrying pine resin. You work at the district center. So you're taking it all over to the other side. That is the longest haul I have ever seen. We should probably change you guys to Timberbots. Because that's the longest haul of all time. Holy crap. A ton of people just died of old age, but they're only dying of old age, so this is good news. This is excellent news. Like, the Timberbots walk faster. If I do this, this is going to completely fuck everything up. Okay, we're just going to wait. We'll change these jobs to Timberbots at some point, but we're just not there yet. We're just not there yet. Eventually. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. We're going to call that an episode right there. Thanks so much for watching today's episode of Timberborn. We are working on it. We're getting there. We're finally producing the amounts of pine resin that we need, hopefully. Means hopefully in 87 treated planks, we'll have a Fountain of Joy built here. And that means that we can start working on the Earth Recultivator. It does take 2,000 treated planks. So, you know, that's a problem. But we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye.